The learning outcome for this module is to understand how to inspire others by identifying and acting upon what motivates them. Let's get started.
In this module, we're going to talk about action steps about how to inspire or motivate others by identifying and acting on what motivates them. The first step is to understand that there's no universal motivator. Motivating and working through others is, as you know, critical to your success as a manager or leader. And so while this sounds pretty obvious, you really need to make sure it's a part of your job to identify other people's values and needs. You can do this by, answering some fairly basic questions, such as, why did this person choose to work here and in this role? Or what are the things that get this person excited to get out of bed in the morning? Or what do you think this person is afraid of or keeps them up at night? You can ask them, what are you passionate about? Or where are you heading in your life and career? While these questions may seem sort of interviewish or obvious, they really give you insight into what their values and needs are. You can also, as a manager or leader, just specifically observe them and try to figure out what they get excited about and when their emotions show. You really need to be genuinely interested in the people that you're working with if you're going to be an exceptional leader or manager. Some of the things that can potentially, you could see, get people excited are things like creating balance in their work and life, getting advancement professionally, helping others, being creative, taking control of a situation, having a habit or creating some type of stability, some type of routine in their life. And then, of course, there's always money as well. There's a critical piece about money, however, is that understanding money as a primary motivating factor, it really sort of oversimplifies who we are as humans. And it's our opinion, or we believe, that money should always be a secondary motivator. And as you've seen in many other modules, the most ineffective motivator is fear, especially over the long term. So when you're thinking about how people are motivated, or when you're observing them, it's really important to understand that there's a whole spectrum of other motivating factors that you can observe and enhance or support. The second step is to turn setbacks into opportunities. When you're showing genuine belief and support in the people around you, it's important to do that in light of setbacks. You want to make sure that you can help them see setbacks in achieving something as an opportunity to learn and grow. And as a manager or leader, you should help them identify barriers that they have and ways that they can remove them. You should, however, resist the temptation to solve a person's problems. This is where you as a manager, as a coach, need to really think about helping them identify the problem, but then helping them to propose the solution and then make sure that they're taking the action to find the solution. So you can ask them things like, what results are you after? Or what's the biggest obstacle getting in your way right now? And if you've had that obstacle, how can you remove it, manage it, or work around that obstacle? Or you can say, it sounds like you're really frustrated with something. What have you already tried? And then what have you not tried? Or have them make a list of the important factors in making a decision or in taking a next move. And then ask them, what will you do next? What's your next move for taking a next step? A next step is to use what we call the 4 Ds to find the best in people. The act of searching for the best in people and teams and organizations has been scientifically proven to foster motivation. For example, when people are given feedback about their strengths, they're more engaged and productive than those who are told about their weaknesses. And in organizations where people get to do what they want to do or what they do best, overall productivity is always higher. And a lot of times 1.5 times higher or more than in organizations that don't allow this. So using the 4 Ds is a way for help people to see the possibilities of what's out there. The first D is to discover. Figure out what about your organization or your team or the project inspires people. Figure out and try to discover when is the team is its best. The second D is to dream. Work with your people or your team or your organization to envision possibilities that exist for them. What could things look like, in the immediate and the long-term future, and how would that affect them? The fourth D is to design. You want to design and create a team that's empowered to make both the dream and the discover phases an actual reality. And then finally, the fourth D is destiny. You want to use this D as a way to fight the common occurrence of backsliding into going back to the way things were or the way things were functioning before. You want to actually really focus on implementing the change that you want on an ongoing basis, on a daily incremental baby step kind of basis. The next step in inspiring motivation is to set goals and celebrate accomplishments. When people have goals in place, they're typically more motivated than when they don't have goals. If you can articulate a goal, put it in front of you, and see it on a regular basis, you're much more motivated to actually achieve it. Goals obviously should be SMART, which is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. And then when progress is made towards a goal, as a leader or manager, you should reinforce the behavior as soon as possible. And you can do this by making sure you know how a person likes to be recognized. And is it public or is it private? Do they prefer to receive a gift, or is it more just a verbal support and verbal recognition in front of their peers, or is there some other type of celebration that could happen? And then make sure you do it. Follow through with it. And if you're working within a group, if you have a team or a larger organization that you're leading, make sure that you are doling out rewards fairly, or that it's perceived as an opportunity for everyone to receive this reward, assuming that they're all working towards this goal. A final step in inspiring motivation is to find the root cause. If you see what looks like low motivation, you really need to find out what's going on. Burnout can show up as cynicism or low energy or irritability or decreased productivity. If you see these kinds of behaviors, you should analyze the person's world and ask things like, do they lack control or influence over the decisions that are affecting their job or the things that they're responsible for? Do they know what's expected of them? Are they engaged in a conflict with another person on the team? Are their values inconsistent with the organization's, or are they in the wrong job? Talk to them about it. Open up the conversation and let them express it to you. Make sure you're asking probing questions and helping the other person to think through the situation in depth. And then determine whether you can help the person to tackle the issue and whether or not they have energy or motivation to find a solution. In addition to listening to what the other person says, understand and support their feelings. You should try to state the speaker's emotion as well as the content of their message. And then if you are really actually finding something that needs to change, help them to make a plan of action. Coach them or become their coach, and request to become their coach, and may help them make a plan of action to make a solution.
We hope that you found this module on inspiring others useful. Remember, a complete transcript of this video is below, and there are downloadable takeaways that you can use offline. Also, please take a minute to leave us a comment below about how you're inspiring others today, or leave us a comment about how we can make this section better. Thanks.